Welcome back from the long summer away. We're going to talk about what happened over the summer. We're going to talk about our mission statement as a Catholic school coming up on the Flint Catholic Podcast. We're back. Isn't it great to be back?
We're back.
We're back. So you did join us a little bit at the end of last year, right? We interviewed you.
I did. Yep. I was a guest, and wow, sometimes God he raises up the lowly, right? And been raised up to co-host here, so this is pretty exciting.
Yeah, definitely. So we are back after a long summer, and I know a lot of you have been asking me, are you guys going to put out more episodes? And the answer is yes. I think in the summers, though, we're going to have to not, because this is when we first started the podcast. When Michael and I first started the podcast, it was just audio only, right? So I had all the buttons in front of me. I could just do everything right there. This is no longer a two-man operation, but it's a multiple-person operation, 3 persons. Pax is back with us, back as a producer.
Hello.
Pax is back from his long summer vacation as well. Problem is, there's just no students around in the summer to actually help us produce the podcast.
So maybe we will hire Pax
there we go.
For minimum wage.
So if you would like to sponsor the Flint Catholic Podcast, you can send me an email, and we can sponsor content throughout the entire summer.
I would totally do it.
And I don't know if you heard Pax. Pax said he would totally do it.
How about that?
You've got a microphone back there too, if you ever want to use it. It's that third one. Yeah, we're starting to up our game here in the video studio live from Powers Catholic High School.
Yeah, and we do want to reflect the Trinity in all things, so I feel like having a third mic does
Hello?
that.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
See, there's
That's
Pax.
exciting.
It is exciting.
Oh, all right.
So we may ask for your perspective on things from time to time. All I can see between the monitor and the TV is like just your eyes straight across, but it's good enough. It works.
You can see my emotion. Eyes are the window to the soul.
There we go.
Yeah.
So for those who may be joining us for the first time, I'm Father Tony Smila. I'm the chaplain here at Powers Catholic High School. I'm joined here with Patrick Brennan, who is the campus minister here at Powers. So.
Campus minister. So just a lay person, layman. All right. Sometimes you think campus minister, and it's like, well, is he a priest? Is he a brother? Just lay person.
That's true.
Been married for about a year and a half, so state of life sealed up, and happy to be my second year Powers Catholic.
So really, we got the main states of life represented in this room: married, clergy, and single.
There you
Yay, child. Woo.
So, let's talk about what happened this summer. There's a lot of things that happened this summer, and it was really kind of a full news summer. So I'm just gonna hit a few of the things that happened, and we'll just quickly talk about them, and that'll be our first segment. First, I actually kind of want to talk about my summer.
Sure.
Because my summer was awesome, and I'll ask about your summer as well. My summer was pretty sweet. So obviously, moving into a new role as chaplain, trying to figure out what does a chaplain do, right? Teaching was pretty easy. I knew I had lesson plans, I had curriculum, I had it all set, and I kind of knew what I was doing. Chaplain, it's a little different. Now, Father Jim left me with very good information. He left me really in a good spot. So it's been me trying to figure that out, and you've been a tremendous help in that regard.
Oh, thanks, man.
But also, on top of that, I've got to do other things, right? My summer was a little bit more free, and so I got to go down to Damascus, Ohio for a week, which was very cool.
You like Ohio?
No, I don't. It smelled pretty bad the whole time. But in Centerburg, Ohio, Damascus Retreat Center exists, and that's a bright spot in the place that is Ohio.
Light in the darkness.
A light in the darkness in so many ways. So there was a summer camp. They do an 8-week summer camp, and they have different campers come in every week. So I was there helping out for a week. They had 500 middle school and high schoolers there. It was a lot of kids. It was a lot of fun. There's a image of me just covered in paintballs at one point.
With the clerics on.
With the clear, of course.
Come on.
We have to get that picture up here.
Yeah. Okay. Next week, I'll have that picture
I'll
ready
email
to
you.
go, and you'll see the picture of me just covered in paintballs, and I had a blast.
That is so good.
It was great. We got to bring Jesus to them in the evenings, and we were doing all kinds of team building stuff during the day. It was awesome, and I was exhausted at the end. My body kind of hurt too. Is this what it's like to get old? But
the good news is the kids keep us young.
they do.
You know,
They do.
We're not going to age quickly around here.
Yeah,
Powers.
I'm already looking forward to doing that again next summer. So I did that for a week, and then about a month later, I went up to Boyne Mountain and helped out with Focus, the Fellowship of Catholic University Students. So I went from middle school to high school to now college students. So these are college students who have gotten involved with Focus and different campuses around the country. And Focus actually does something really cool in the summer. It's their summer intensive program where they pick these different places that need summer help. And who really needs summer help is resorts, right? That's the biggest. People need a lot of summer help. So that's why they went to Boyne Mountain to get the summer help they need. The students go, they work there at Boyne Mountain. And then on their days off or on their in their evenings, we do spiritual programs. So there's two priests, at least where I was at, there was two priests, two of us who were ministering to the college students. We give talks, celebrate Mass, confession, adoration. So there's 2 Masses a day, 2 times for adoration every day. They brought Dr. Janet Smith while I was there to give a talk.
Wow.
They brought in 2 sisters from Mary Mother of the Eucharist to give a talk. And then the 2 of us did an Ask Me Anything with the priests, which was really cool. It was a ton of fun.
How'd that go?
Oh, it was great. I told them, I did that with the freshmen pretty much all last year. So if I can handle it from the freshmen, I can handle it from college students. And it was a ton of fun.
Nice.
We went pretty deep in some questions, and it was awesome. So I did that for a week. It was a fun summer.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about your summer.
Wow. Well, not quite as epic on the ministry front. That's some epic ministry happening. But I did have 2 highlights as far as summer excursions. So first summer excursion went down to Hilton Head, South Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
My wife and I were very blessed to go down there when we got married on our honeymoon, and we were able to return a year later. So it was kind of a first anniversary celebration. And then at the end of the summer, we have some relatives out west, so we were able to visit the Grand Canyon and drive around Arizona.
For me.
It was amazing. It's really like you look at the Grand Canyon and you're like, man, it really takes you to God, because it's so big you can't see the end of it. And it just made me think, this is heaven. This is what heaven's going to be like. It's going to be so good, and we won't see the end of it. So it's like,
that's amazing.
It took me to a spiritual reflection there, but powerful place. And then a couple other places in Arizona, Sedona, quite a place, climbing some red rocks. And there's a really cool chapel there called the Chapel of the Holy Cross, built right into a mountain, built right into the rock. And you got to kind of climb up a hill in order to even get to it. And it's this kind of intimate chapel, not a whole lot of people fit in there, but a lot of tourists and visitors were attending the daily Mass there. And so it was packed, and you're kind of on top of this mountain, and man, it just makes you think of all those passages when Jesus is going up the mountain, and here we are celebrating Mass, on the side of a mountain. So that was wild.
That is pretty cool. Gosh, Arizona's awesome. Was it really hot?
It wasn't too bad. Flew into Phoenix, and Phoenix is its own, oven. But the rest of Arizona is surprisingly diverse in terms of landscape. Like if you drive north a little bit, it starts to look like northern Michigan in terms of the number of I don't know if they'd call them pine trees, but evergreens or whatever they'd call them. It was like, wow, this is way greener than I expected.
Huh.
So
it's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona sounds nice.
It's great.
Although not right now, because Michigan fall, that's coming up. I'm excited for that. Maybe when the white stuff hits the ground, I'll be thinking about Arizona again.
There you go.
Yikes. So we had great summers. The church did too. So the first thing on my list that happened, I think this is probably the biggest one, at least locally for us. The Pope came to our side of the pond. The Pope came to Canada. And it was, a real short trip. And it was really a penitential pilgrimage he took to Canada, which is different than we normally see him take. We usually see him meeting with people and doing all these things and, getting out there and spreading the gospel. But this time he wasn't. He was very penitential, and it was a different side of Pope Francis than you normally see. And I thought that was good to see, right? To see that, hey, the church has made mistakes in the past. Things have not gone wrong. We live in a world of sin and ugliness and pain. And to see the Pope acknowledge that, I think was really, really good. So the Pope being in Canada was something that I was following pretty closely.
Was there like a main message that he had, or a main kind of nugget that he kept preaching on that visit?
It was really just he wanted to show the natives like that this wasn't right what happened, and that the church apologized for it, and this is not what the church stands for. And that really, and him, especially in Pope Francis, like listening is such a big part of who he is in his pontificate. And so he did spend a lot of time just listening to the natives and listening to what their circumstances are like. What is the church in Canada like? What is their experience of what happened? So he spent a lot of time listening, which is really good. I love to see that. I love to see that, he didn't shy away from this, but he's like, no, I'm actually just going to go there. As all of this is coming up. So the Pope in Canada, I thought, was an important thing that happened that I think may have been overlooked by a lot of people. It didn't get a lot of press coverage. And really the only coverage it got was just rehashing those boarding schools, and which was not a great look in the media.
Yeah.
So this second piece I've got on my list is something that's actually very recent, but something I think we should talk about as well. John Paul I was beatified, and that just happened. And I'm like, who's going to be the first pope who's not beatified in this stretch?
Oh man,
right? Like,
that's
who does
awkward?
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy. Like the past 6 popes have been canonized. They're saints, and then there's Pope Tony. Just a dude. He was okay.
You never know.
Yeah.
Get that phone call.
If that phone call happens, then I'm definitely the first pope to not be canonized. They'd be like, I don't know about that.
You'd also be like the first American pope, right?
I'm assuming, yeah, another American pope isn't elected. There was rumblings for a while that Dolan might be the first American to be elected pope, Cardinal Dolan, but I think that ship has come and sailed. So I don't know if that's going to happen. That'd be an interesting conversation to have one day. Americans who might be pope.
Hey, if the world sticks around long enough,
No kidding.
It could happen.
No kidding.
Anything about John Paul I that the people should know?
30 days. He was 32 days, was it? He was pope, and then died. He was known as the Smiling Pope. That's really
really?
Yeah, he was known as the Smiling Pope.
Wow.
Yeah, he smiled a lot. So Michael got to know this really well. I really liked the news outlet, The Pillar Catholic, like huge fan. And
Unofficial sponsor.
Unofficial sponsor. They're the ones who always are looking for sponsors as well. So we're probably not going to be able to be sponsored by them.
Yeah.
We could sponsor one of their episodes. That'd be interesting.
There you go.
Anyway, there's an article up there right now that's was Pope John Paul I murdered? And just kind of going through the conspiracy theories, because that's kind of 32 days after he becomes pope, he's dead, and like out of the blue, like he was in relatively good health, and it just happened. I'm like, so it went through the various conspiracy theories, which I thought was interesting, and then the end is like, well, who cares? I mean,
this is a little morbid, but I want to know if he's smiling, as he's lying there in his casket.
So that is the actual. That's how the story goes.
Really?
He was found in bed, kind of sitting up, with a smile on his face.
Oh my!
Yeah.
I want that.
That's kind of a little creepy,
end to my life.
It's like
I would not want to be the one who found him like that.
Yeah,
I'm glad I wasn't.
It's a little spooky.
It is. But that is how the story goes, how he was found. So you were not too far off.
Wow.
So there's that. Another one. More cardinals were made. Made lots of cardinals this summer.
Really?
We are now at the point where Pope Francis has made more than half of the cardinals that are able to elect the next pope. So a majority of cardinals that will elect the next pope have been appointed by Pope Francis.
How is a cardinal made?
I don't know. I don't even know if that's like the right term. Cardinal made. Those named cardinals. There's apparently a ceremony that probably is really boring.
Okay.
I don't know. But that there was a whole another crop of cardinals made over the weekend, maybe even. And now it is official that most of the cardinals have been appointed by Pope Francis.
Is this like considered like cardinal packing, like court packing? You know, the Supreme
No,
Court?
because it happens to every pope at some point, right? You're pope long enough, it's gonna happen. Benedict got to that point too. JP2 obviously got to that point because he probably did. Like, there were probably cardinals who retired and then took their place by the time Pope John Paul II was done. So,
Sure.
yeah, it happens at every pontificate, but it's always kind of this milestone moment where, like, now you're at the majority.
Yeah.
The last thing on my list before we turn it over to the announcements is the Synod on Synods continues. All right, the Synod. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna keep making fun of this because it's silliness.
I want the Synod on Synods on Synods. I want that.
We'll have a synod on the Synod of Synods. Yes, right. So there's been more news on that. Like there was we've come through the listening stage, and now we're going to kind of ramp up the next stage of the Synod on Synods. Germany continues to make noise, which is all they're good for. They continue to make some noise, and we continue on with the Synod on Synods. So we'll probably spend more time, though, on the Eucharistic Congress coming up, which I'm really more excited about. Let's talk about Jesus in the Eucharist. I think that's a good thing to talk about.
Amen.
That's more local here, United States Church. So I'm sure there were other things, but those are the things that kind of popped off the top of my head as things that happened over the summer. Because I think, well, maybe not. I know we talked about, like, right as we were finishing the school year last year, the Roe v. Wade decision was, I think it was leaked, but it hadn't been official yet. But I think we did have an episode on abortion at the end of the school year. So that, was kind of the summer as well.
Yeah.
Big news. Seems like a long time ago that happened, but...
Anything noteworthy in the Flint area over the summer that comes to mind for you?
Boy, man. I mean, we've got a new priest in the area, Father Matthew Bonk.
Oh, we're going to have him on?
So we should have him on. That's good. He's replacing me. So at St. John Vianney. So he's my replacement at John Vianney.
Irreplaceable.
But you know Father Matthew, right? From your time in Lansing?
I do.
So you were pretty excited when you heard he was coming.
He's a great preacher.
Yeah.
Preaches fire.
Yes. And, in order to replace Father Tom Firestone, eventually, right, we got to have a fiery preacher. And I just didn't make the cut, right? They're like, you can go with the high schoolers there. And so you got Father Tom and Father Matthew at John Vianney, fiery preachers.
Amen.
That's what I like. I think that's kind of it for the Flint area, right? Am I missing anything?
It's a beautiful day in Flint.
I agree.
We're looking at 80 degrees today, so.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
My doors are off. My top is down. My windows are off in my Jeep.
Come on.
It'll be like 50 degrees and I'm still going to have the doors off. I'll have like 5 hoodies on. I'm like, I'm not putting the doors back on yet. Refuse. It's too much fun. Defiance. All right. I think that means we're done with the first segment. We will see you first with some announcements. We actually have announcements this time. We've got like some real announcements. That means like Pandemic Land is finally finishing, I think.
Wow.
Like signs of life in the church. Look at this. There's so many announcements. So pay attention to them. There's some really good ones too. I'm pretty excited. We will see you after the break. Sister Lisa is making her final vows. So the Servants of God's Love, and if you don't know the Servants of God's Love, you really need to because they're fantastic.
It's true.
They are all in the parish. They're inviting us to join in celebration of the perpetual profession of vows of Sister Lisa at Christ the King in Ann Arbor on Saturday, September 10th. So that's this coming Saturday. Bishop Boyea will be the main celebrant. The Mass will begin at 11 a.m., immediately followed by a reception in the parish center. St. Matthew's Church in Flint will begin an 11-week Bible study, Revelation. And, that's why I mention it, right? Because Revelation is one of my favorite books of the Bible.
Yeah.
It's
and
fantastic.
Why not?
Because it's just awesome. So they're doing an 11-week Bible study on Revelation, the kingdom yet to come. On September 8th. Ooh, that's... So you might miss week 1, but that's okay. You can start... St. Matthew will begin a 10-week Bible study starting next week. September 8th at 7:30 p.m. Participants will meet every week to view an engaging video presentation followed by a time of lively group discussion and fellowship. For more information or to register, contact Amanda Williams at 810-287-7941 or email at adwilliamsclan9@gmail.com. Again, all these announcements will be in the description as well. St. Robert Church is celebrating 100 years.
Woohoo!
100 years in Flushing, September 15th through the 18th. So there's a whole list of things they're doing on the 15th. They've got National Pro-Life speaker Rebecca Kiessling. Kiessling? Sounds right.
Yeah.
On Friday, September 16th, there is 24 hours of adoration. So 24 hours. You ever done a 3 a.m. adoration hour?
I have. It can be both adventurous and torturous all at the same time.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. It's kind of neat though to get up special and just go see Jesus at 3 a.m.
Yeah,
there's something neat about that. It ends with 8:30 a.m. Mass on Saturday, September 17th. Following the 10:30 a.m. Mass on Sunday the 18th, a picnic celebration, pig roast. All right, I know what I'm doing on the 18th. Games, entertainment, and an open house. Speaking of celebrations, St. John is doing their Apple Fest. St. John Fenton.
Wow.
50th anniversary. This is a year for anniversaries.
Yeah.
Same dates, September 15th through the 18th. So you go from Flushing to Fenton.
Get your pig, get your apples.
That's right. Carnival rides, food, entertainment, opening evening fireworks at Busch Park. Raffle offers 2 cars as grand prizes. If it's not a Jeep Wrangler, it's not cool, I guess. Details at stjohnfenton.org/applefest.
Awesome.
Speaking of cars, you like my transitions today?
Love it.
These are good. Holy Hot Rods. This should be Holy Hot Rods Batman, right? Holy Hot Rods Batman. Holy Rosary's 3rd annual car and truck show. There's also a swap and craft show, too. Saturday, September 17th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Did they, coordinate all this? Because this is all, in the same weekend. It seems like they should. Next time, we'll let them know.
It's festival season.
Well, they didn't hear it at the podcast, so how do they know all these other parishes are doing these things?
So
this is your only place to get all of this information. We have awards, the People's Choice Awards, the Kids' Choice Awards, Best Original, and Best Modified Car and Truck. So
Wow.
That's kind of cool. I wonder if Father Anthony Brooks is entering his Camaro into this show.
He modified it?
He built it, basically.
Come on.
Yeah, he spends a lot of time in that garage. All his free time, he's building a car. It's really cool.
Wow.
I know nothing about this. I can build a computer. There's a food tent, of course, 50-50, raffle, door prizes, and a model car contest. It is open to antiques, classics, rat rods, street rods, customs, 4x4s, and more. $10 admission. Placement of cars begins at 9 a.m. Contact Tony Avery at 810-736-4040 at 9 a.m. No, I already had it at 9 a.m. 810-736-4040.
What is a rat rod?
I have no idea.
Sounds cool.
It does sound cool. I'm not the car person. Yeah. And our last announcement. Holy Family is starting a Bible study, a wisdom study. So this is kind of cool too, right? Some of these books you don't normally read. So Scripture and the tradition of the Catholic Church provide an abundance of wisdom, though it can be often challenging to apply it in our lives. In this 8-part study, Jeff Cavins and Thomas Smith examine biblical wisdom as it relates to daily life. Drawing on the wisdom literature of the Bible, Proverbs, Wisdom, Sirach, Ecclesiastes, Wisdom, God's vision for life will teach you how to actively seek sound guidance and increase your sense of peace in navigating life. I like peace.
I feel wiser just having heard that announcement.
I would agree. In everything from friendships to finances, from making decisions to attaining peace of mind, Scripture offers a vision for happiness and well-being. With this program, you will learn how to gather, gain, and grow in wisdom, and you will experience the joy it brings to your life. Where? St. Joseph Center. When? Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m., October 5, 12, 1926, and through November as well. $25 cost. Program leader and contact Deacon Dan Medich, DMEDICH at hfgb.org, holyfamilygrandblanc.org. I think that's it. This is great to have so many announcements again. I'm so excited.
Yeah, man.
Now back to our regularly scheduled program. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
That came quick. Okay. Thanks, Pax. So, since the bell's going to ring, we're going to have to learn how to figure out this time a little better. We got this, though. We got this. Yeah. For the second segment here, I've got a game for you. It's a back-to-school game.
Oh, man.
True or false.
Okay.
Pax, did I ever have a single true or false question on my test?
I feel like no.
No.
Most of them were written or
That's right.
multiple choice.
I don't think I even did multiple choice. Rarely did I do multiple choice. I want you to know this. But I am generous today. I'm going to give you a 50-50 shot at all of these.
Wow.
These are back-to-school facts from Blue Water Credit. I have no idea. I Googled fun facts about back-to-school.
Okay.
All right. True or false? All told, including college students, about 78 million kids head back to school every fall.
78 million. We're talking about in the U.S.?
Yes.
That sounds good to me. I'll say true.
True? Pax, what do you think? You can
Sounds
play too.
legit.
78 million kids indeed go back to school every fall.
Ooh, 1 for 1.
That is 78 million smiles on day one, right?
Dang.
That one will be false.
Yeah, that would be
one's
false. Good. You're paying attention. You got this. All right. There are about 12 million teachers in the U.S. True or false?
Oh, man. I'm trying to do the math in my head now. 78 million students. Are there 12 million teachers? All right. I'll just keep going. I'm going to say true.
What do you think? Pax, what do you think?
Honestly, maybe a bit more, but
You think it's more?
sounds close enough, I guess.
Okay. All right. There are only about 8 million teachers in the U.S. 8 million.
They probably could use 12 million.
They probably could. Yeah, we hear about it all the time.
Yeah.
It is hard to get teachers. That is true. Okay. Back to school has also become its own shopping phenomenon. In fact, the majority of parents will spend more than $300 on back to school shopping.
$300. Gosh, it's I don't want to say that's true because that's just a lot. So I'm gonna go false.
Okay.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I did my own school shopping this year, and I spent $12.
Would you say that you are the norm in that?
Probably not. I bought 4 notebooks and a folder or 2.
All right, so that is a false statement. What do you think the number is closer to?
Are you telling me it could be more?
Maybe. The statement is false.
Oh my. I mean, I'm gonna say $150.
Okay. It is 100, more than 100. Parents will spend more than 100.
Okay.
So very good. You have your senses were right on that.
Very good,
All right.
Mr. Patrick.
Holy Spirit working.
That's right. All right. Let's see. Oh man, this did not get printed very well. I'm trying to read this. It got printed straight off the website, and as you can tell, I'm doing it in landscape as well. All right, here we go. There are approximately 33 million elementary school children in the U.S., 17 million kids attending high school, 8.8 little ones in nursery school and kindergartens. True or false?
Wow. The numbers, man. I'm not a math guy, so this is pushing my limits here.
I mean, does it add up to the 78 million before?
Boy,
See, this is really a math test.
I am not that quick. I'm just gonna say false.
What do you think, Pax?
I don't even remember the numbers, so I'll say undecided.
Undecided.
It sounds a bit true, but I'd have to actually do the math.
Oh, those
Might
numbers
be
are
like-
true. Numbers are true.
How about that?
All right, I got 2 and maybe a bonus one left. School buses have been around since 1915, but the official color of bright yellow wasn't adopted until 1939.
Wow, I'm trying to think what that 1915 school bus might have looked like.
Yeah, right?
Horse and buggy. Okay. I'm going to say that's true.
Pax, what do you think?
It sounds like something that'd be real.
All right, you are correct. 1915, as long as the automobile. So,
Wow.
Yep, that's good.
Was there an official school bus color in the beginning? Was it just a random?
I probably was random, right? 1939, though, was officially adopted bright yellow.
Okay.
Maybe it's just like any guy at the school who had the car.
Yeah, they probably just wanted to make sure you got the kids there. Right?
Yeah.
All right. There's another one that I wanted. There it is. All right. Michigan State is the largest public university with 81,000 students.
81,000. Oh man, they've opened up the gates. I gotta say it's false.
Okay. Pax, what do you think?
It can't be the largest school in like America, or it was the America or the
Public
world?
university
Public university
in America.
in America. I mean, out of all of them, I don't know. I feel like it'd be like in a bigger state
Okay.
if it was like, you know.
Do you know what the enrollment at Michigan State is around?
I thought it was in the 40s.
40s? Now, I do know, this is a false statement. You were correct. I do know, I think Michigan State has the largest, dining facilities, or the most dining facilities of any university in the country.
Yeah, I believe that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yummy.
That is yummy.
I actually just recently heard that they're having trouble finding workers to fill all those dining facilities this year.
It's true. When Michigan State students don't wake up till like noon, it's hard to. It's too easy.
I'd love to have a counterpoint to that, but I don't.
So, the public university with 81,000 students is a state we mentioned earlier, Arizona State. Arizona State.
Oh, yo, Arizona's
81,000
nice.
students.
Wow.
That is a lot of students.
Yeah.
Is Arizona bigger than Michigan?
Arizona, the population-wise?
I mean, I was thinking
Probably.
size, but
Well, size
population
for
is-
sure.
Yeah.
Population-wise, maybe.
Slightly sunnier.
Slightly.
It's very
Slightly.
nice there. I think I went there in February once, and it was like, this feels like spring.
Yes. All right, last one. The oldest public school in the United States is the Boston Latin School, which was founded in 1645.
Just for Latin.
Probably.
Oh, hey, we'll just say true. What do you think, Pax?
Facts.
I mean, Latin is a really old language.
It's-
and
it's pretty old.
1645, you said?
1645.
That's a pretty long time ago. Yeah, that's like before America was like America, wasn't it?
Do you know when America became America?
Definitely after 1600. I want to say like 17 something. I watched Hamilton.
Oh boy. I'm not going to tell Mr. Koval that you don't know this. Although you probably haven't gotten that. Well, no, you should have had the class last year.
I did have the not last
Woof.
year. So
This hurts my soul a little bit.
Uh-oh.
I'm not going to lie. Maybe it's a year like 1776 might ring a bell to you.
Yeah, that's the year that reminds me.
That would be the year, yes. So
Yeah.
this is
I'm hearing the
far
music in my head.
earlier before that.
Yeah.
1645. So I was actually I was wondering if you guys would get thrown off because that's just such an early date, right? 45. The answer is actually 1635. It's even earlier than that.
Oh, my goodness.
1635
Wow.
was when the first, the oldest public school in the United States, Boston Latin School.
I'm just surprised when it's 1635. I mean, there's a lot more pressing needs than learning Latin at that point. Like,
That's
you know,
probably true.
How to get through the wilderness.
This is true.
Survival skills.
I've actually been to the location where that school was founded.
Mm.
I've been to the location in Boston. Boston is a neat city.
It
I
is.
feel like they should be. Do they even need to learn how to read at that point? They should be.
Yes, they want to teach their kids how to read.
Yeah, but like, there are more pressing matters, like Mr. Patrick said. Like,
Well, sure.
not dying in the winter.
I mean, 1635. You know, they've been there long enough where they've got the necessities. You know, they're able to found these types of schools.
Yeah.
That's kind of right when it begins.
Okay.
We want to give our ancestors credit.
I think so
Mhm.
too. I mean, a lot of them, you know, really struggled in those first years, but they made
yeah,
it,
of
and
course.
we're here, and it's
Yes.
great.
There wouldn't be podcasts without them.
There would not be podcasts without them.
Probably, yeah, definitely.
So welcome back to school. Pax, welcome back to school.
Thank you.
Here's to another year. Season 3 now of the Flint Catholic Podcast.
How about that?
I know.
We're growing up.
Season 3.
3
This is
years
great.
old.
3. Well, not 3 quite years old, but
Yeah.
this is season 3.
In TV years.
TV years. There we go. I'll take it.
Or
All right.
Podcast.
We will see you next week on the Flint Catholic Podcast.
God bless.